whistle. We see the Trojans playing in a 4-1-3 formation. No, 4-1-1-3 formation. And the Eagles are lined up with 4 at the back, 3 in the midfield, and 3 up front. Match is kicked off here tonight. Trojans take the kickoff, send the ball deep into the Trojans' half. Ball hits the corner flag and goes up for a throw-in. Trojans signaling their intention. Direct football at the moment. And Marcel dealing goal. Strikers turned goalkeeper will take the kick. Dio kicks, comes out wide to Wade. Wade sends the veteran Bazin down the line. Bazin is matched by Anthony Rocker, and Rocker sends it out for a throw-in to the Trojans. Number 2 is Sakai Iris, one of the youngsters of the Trojans, will take the throw-in deep in the Eagles' dart. As Bazin holds up, unable to collect the ball, but it hits the legs of Anthony Rocker. And after 1 minute of play, the Trojans will get a corner kick. Taj Wade, young and promising youngster, very talented, also from Bermuda's Brazilian soccer school, is going to take the kick. Taj sends the ball deep, flows to the Trojans, number 11. That was Sean Simmons, who did not strike the ball clean. He slipped while he was trying to volley it into the back of the net. And it goes out for a throw-in on the far side to the Eagles. And we see Daniel Andrade, number 4, having received the start tonight, taking the throw-in. Tries to throw it to Shakur Smith, but the ball is headed out by Sean Simmons. Andrade throws to Tucker, the 2 youngsters on the team. Back to Andrade. Tackled. Martin signals another throw-in to the Eagles. It's a small crowd at the moment. I believe they thought the match was going to start at 9 p.m., but the actual kickoff time was 8 p.m., so we look for a much larger crowd later on in the match. And it's Shakur. Held off. Back to Wade. Wade and Batter. Jalen Batter playing left back today. Adolphus Lambert. Sakai Iris. Wade collects, tries to play it back into the Trojans' back line. And it's Russell. Russell followed by Sakai Iris. Russell keeps possession. Holds onto the ball. Plays it into Adolphus Lambert. Crossfield to Batter. Batter tries to play to Rocker, but Bazin collects. Free kick to the Trojans. Bazin, the veteran, still putting his body in all challenges. Hasn't changed the start of play for the last 15 years, but always very involved in the play. And it's Sakai Iris, the left back, the right back, that will take the kick just outside the Eagles' half. Challenged by Jelani Butterfield. The free kick for a push on the Eagles' back line. And Deal takes a quick kick on the edge of his 18. Back to Batter. Both teams still trying to find their way. It's early. Good header by the defender. Desmond Batches comes in, tries to win the ball. And it's Batter. A lot of play down this right side of the Trojans, the left side of the Eagles. Russell held off by Iris. Should be a throw into the Eagles. But Martin signals for the Trojans. Thompson is not happy with that call. Iris draws in to Burgess. Burgess chases down. Back to Iris. Punches a little bit too hard is Adolphus Lambert. Bazin. Wade cuts inside. Good challenge by Batter. Burgess. Iris, bare touch. Bare touch by Sakai Iris, and Adolphus Lambert reacts quickly. Both teams haven't settled down. They're giving the ball away very cheaply. But this is the derby, so it's not about the style of play and tactics. It's all about who gets the 3 points today. The bragging rights for the first half of the season. Balls played out wide to Tyrone Fabler from Rocker. Good partnership thus far this season. Not the fastest back line, but they are pretty stable. Over the top to Shakur. Shabral Tucker who clears. Daniel Andrade Shakur Smith comes inside. Shakur Smith takes a shot. All of 30 yards. Try to direct towards goal, but off balance. And after 5 minutes of play, the score is 0-0. There has been no direct shots on goal. We just missed a goal attempt by Shakur Smith from about 25 yards. Both teams are feeling each other out. Seems like there's a lot of pressure on both teams because this is the derby. And Drumbe kicks. Good long kick, which will challenge the Eagles' back line. Headed out by batter. Ball bounces to Burgess. Rakeem DeShields sends it out wide to Adolphus. One time into Russell. Back to batter. Much better play from the Eagles. Tucker flicks it on to Shakur. Trojans intercept. And it's Eagles again. Eagles looking to counter. Crossfield ball by Smith. It's Lambert and Sakai Iris. Lambert should win this one. Good recovery by Iris. And Lambert fouls Sakai Iris. Iris lucky to get away with that. Did not have control of the ball, but Lambert's a little bit too eager. Brought him down. Jumbo prepares to take the kick. All of the Eagles players are in their own half. Another long kick. Headed out by Skipper Davis. Good challenge in the middle. And Fabler. Smith skips past one player. Referee calls a foul even though the Eagles were in possession. Looked like the boot of Smith came off his foot. Ball's out wide to batter. Tucker playing very deep at the moment, trying to find his way into the match. Back to Rocker. Lucky to get away with the one. Basin almost got his foot in. Pretty cheeky from the Eagles back line. Being challenged by Lambert. Keeper feeling very confident tonight. Again, beautiful, beautiful. Very confident and calm keeper. Reminiscent of Higuita of Colombia. And we know what happened in those instances, but, you know, he got away with it tonight. And it's Andrade on the far right. Will draw the way back to Tyrone Fabler. The Trojans forward line are giving the Eagles space to build up, not playing that high pressure football at the moment. Shakur Smith. Ball's kicked out by Darren Minus. And at the moment, after 8 minutes of play, the score is still 0-0. Looking for either team to have a shot on goal and challenge the keeper. Both teams are stringing less than 4 passes together, so haven't flowed into the match. And it's Antoine Russell far right, tries to cross it over. Slices it wide. Goal kick to the Trojans. Looking for the youngster Taj Wade to come into the match. Hasn't been released down the right side of the field as of yet. And Antoine Russell hasn't done his normal magic thus far. The most entertaining part of the match is when keeper Jumbe sidestepped 2 players and brought some atmosphere into the match. It's Sean Simmons on the far side. Sends a deep cross. Basin looking to win that one. Jelani Butterfield challenges. Foul to the Eagles. And Dio will take this kick deep in his half. Plays it out to Rocker. Rocker waits early into battle. Batter comes inside. To Davis. Davis sprays the ball back all the way to Dio. Dio punches it out wide to Andrade. Andrade is a very influential player. Utility man can play either. Trojans trying to start their attack. It's Basin. Turns. Good interception by Raheem DeShields. Plays it into Russell. Russell holds off the challenge. Comes back to left. Right. Good challenge. Good tackle. I thought it was all ball, but the referee, David Martin, signals a free kick to the Eagles. This is what the derby is all about. Challenges, tackles. And you heard the crowd behind us getting involved in the play. And after 10 minutes, it seems that the teams are becoming a little bit more relaxed. And it's better. Should send a deep cross into the box. DeShields unable to control the ball. Davis. Simmons chases it down. Fabula tries to play the ball out wide to Andrade, but kicks the ball outside. The coaching staff of the Trojans, we see Dennis Brown with Brian Iris, been together for at least 3 or 4 seasons, and they've put in their work, and the result has seen the Trojans climb out of the first division back into the Premier Division with an undefeated record thus far this season. Troy Tucker. Should be easy for Deal. Andrade looking to start an early attack. One time into Smith. Smith to Davis. Davis to Tucker. Trojans attack is Basin. Basin heading to 18. Foul. Martin says, play on, play on. Basin feels that he was harshly challenged at the moment. Jelani Butterfield. It's Iris. Stands on his feet. Evades the tackle of DeShields. Foul. That may be a yellow card for DeShields. Rash challenge on Iris. Iris having earlier challenged by Lambert. Stayed on his feet. And it's the first card of the match. So after 12 minutes, it's Anthony Rocker who receives a yellow card for a challenge on Sakai Iris. Rocker of the Eagles. He's played in all the matches thus far this season. Anthony Machette calls the referee over. Something may have been an off-the-ball incident. It's pointing towards a play on the field. Deep in discussion between the two. Let's see what the result brings. Martin jogs towards the center of the 18-yard box where all the players are. Looks like he will pull out a card to a player. He walks over to. He signals to all players to keep it clean. Sakai Iris will float the ball in. Headed out by Troy Tucker on the edge of the 18. It's Vashon Blachette. And it's cleared by Burgess. Sakai Iris should have time on the ball, being chased by Antoine Russell. Doesn't have control of it. Russell Cassian being held. Russell Cassian in the box. Good challenge by Iris. Iris recovers. Challenge by Russell. Referee play on. Burgess clears the ball. And it's Fabula. Puts his head to it. Batter. Calm and composed as always to Rocker. Rocker hits it back to Deal. Basin still challenging. Deal out to Andrade. Poor clearance. The Trojans are now applying some more pressure. There's been a lot of close calls already in this match. The referee looks like he's going to be quite busy with the players on the field and the coaching staff. They're both voicing their opinions about what they think the quality of the match has been thus far to the referee. But at the moment, it's a draw into the Trojans. Held up on the far side. Andrade holds off. The player on that side of the field. Cross into Basin! Ooh, Rock. It's Batter who reacted first. The ball deflected to Basin, but Basin was not looking for the ball that coming off the Eagles player, and the ball goes out for a corner kick. But that's much better from the Trojans. Basin looks like he's the strong target man this year, and he's not afraid to draw his body at the ball. And the Eagles back line will have to be aware. May have lost a little bit of pace over the years, but he's a very determined player. And it's a Lambert. Lambert steps to the ball. Lambert being chased by Iris. Lambert shoots directly to keeper John Bay. Clean hands, no troubles, and releases the play. First shot on goal after 15 minutes. We see DeShields and Iris, two youngsters. DeShields comes to the ball first. Fresh shot on goal after 15 minutes. We saw Lambert on the near post, and Jumbe, who was covering his near post, easily collected the ball. Poor clearance by Cofield Robertson in the midfield. Hasn't come into the match as far. Davis spins away from him. It's the Shields. The Shield tries to play Ian Russell, but Burgess steps in. Ball outside to Wade. What can Wade do? Wade, the influential striker. Should be going out for a throw-in. No, still in possession. Good recovery by Batter. Lambert to the Shields one time. Lambert back. The Shield is fouled by Burgess. Iris has the ball out. This match is thus far evenly balanced between both teams, neither having established their dominance on the match thus far, and it's turning into a typical derby match. Look, it may even be a 1-0 match tonight. It's Russell. Closely marked by two players, tries to cross, unable to wrap his foot around the ball, goal kick to the Trojans. Jumbe comes to kick. He has a very long kick. It's Andrade out there looking to head. Positions himself properly. And it's Smith. Shakur Smith with speed has ghosted past his defender, Jabril Tucker. Referee has called for a foul. And we see that the pace of Smith, which has caused many problems this season, having already scored 3 goals in 3 matches, having left the Dennytown Hornets to venture over to the Somerset Eagles. And it's the leading goal scorer for the team, and Troy Tucker. Floats the ball across. It is Fabler who comes in. It's Russell on it. Russell unable to get his foot to it. It's Davis. Lays it into Tucker. Tucker holds the ball up, drifts inside to Fabler. Fabler tries to release Adolphus Lambert, gives away a poor ball. It's Basin. Basin holds off Andrade. Basin's going to take the ball to the 18. Turns away. No one to play it to. Gets around Andrade. Good play from Basin. Basin with no one to turn to, did not panic. Used his veteran experience, held off the youngster Andrade, and earns a free kick on the left side of the Eagles' 18-yard box. And it's the Trojans who will be looking to have their first shot on goal. Looks like it's the youngster Taj Wade who'll be taking this kick. The number 7, 16 years of age, given a lot of responsibility of the Trojans. We see that the crowd is filling up. Finally having realized that the match did start at 8 p.m. And it's Taj Wade on the far right. Floats the ball in. Go! Go for the Trojans! Number 24, Jabril Tucker. After 20 minutes of play, it's Taj Wade who sends a deceiving ball into the box. Marcel D was looking for the one-time shot from Wade, but Wade deceives the Eagles' backline and sends a far ball to Jabril Tucker, who reacts quickly and easily nuts at him on the far post. Out jumps his marker, and it's the Trojans who have bragging rights at the moment, 1-0. The referee will call the play back as he was still making notes of the goal scorer, but after 20 minutes of play, the Somerset Trojans at home leading the Eagles 1-0 through Jabril Tucker. It's a youngster, Taj Wade, who took the kick on the far side of the field, deceiving the Eagles' back line and the keeper. Instead of looking for the shot, floated the ball across, and it's Jabril Tucker who has scored for the Trojans. So the Eagles having gone behind for the second time in 2 matches after having established early leads in the opening matches. We have to dig in deep again, just as they did against the Blazers, but it wasn't enough to get back into the match. And it's Troy Tucker over to Adolphus Lambert against Iris. Adolphus Lambert collects, turns away from Iris, tries to play in the Shields. It's better. Beautiful movement by batter. It's Tucker to the Shields, to Tucker. But Blanchette is able to hit the ball away. It's Davis to Andrade. Shakur sends the ball in. Should we go? Oh, Burgess. Burgess intercept. It's lucky to head over. I don't think that keeper Jumbo would have been able to react to that one. And the Eagles come back strong and earn a corner kick. And it'll be Troy Tucker to take the kick again. So after 22 minutes of play, it's still the Trojans leading here 1-0 in the match. The Somerset Trojans versus the Somerset Eagles, the derby of the West End. Troy Tucker takes a corner kick, comes out to the middle of the 18. Both teams do not react, and Fabler hits the ball out to batter. Bazin challenges. It's Fabler against Wade. Wade puts in a tackle, and Fabler, who has moved out of his center back position all the way to the left wing, earns a Drovian. Adolphus Lambert cuts inside, sends the ball to the box. Davis, the Shields, unable to control, and the Eagles attack again to Jelani Butterfield. It's Bazin. Bazin will definitely chase this ball down against Rocker. Rocker, calm and composed. Excellent. To Lambert. Davis to Troy Tucker. Beautiful by Troy Tucker. The Eagles play the ball out to the far right. It's Smith. Will Smith go for pace? Smith gets past his man, but no. I think that was a cheap call by the referee. Smith, having lost possession, was lucky to receive the foul as Sean Simmons had marked him. And Smith looking to take the kick himself this time. Approximately 28 yards from goal. Smith and Davis around the ball. Thompson sends Jonathan Beam here on the side to warm up. It's Smith. Smith shoots directly into the ball. And it's Sean Simmons who clears the ball out wide. Kenny Thompson reacts quickly in the derby. And after 23 minutes of play left, sends Jonathan Beam, who has come over from the Island Rangers, to warm up, signaling the intent of Thompson that he is not happy with the outcome of the match thus far, and he's not going to wait for the match to go into the second half before he makes his first substitution. And Dredd will take the Drovian on the far right. Thompson's giving some instructions to Shakur Smith. Shakur Smith has changed from the right to the left wing. He's more comfortable on the left as he scored a scorcher last week against the Blazers to open up the Eagles' account in the second half. It's Lamberts having switched to the right, goes for pace, earns a corner. So we see that Shakur Smith and Adolphus Lambert having switched wings. See if this brings more progress for the Eagles. And it's Darren Minus over on the far right, who will have to watch Adolphus Lambert having switched wings. It's Lambert still in possession, clipped, but the referee is play on. Batter one time into Davis. Butterfield puts in a challenge. Strong header from Vashon Blanchette. Too much time on the ball for Jelani Butterfield. Russell comes deep to collect, plays the ball over to Adolphus Lambert. He's pushed off the ball by the goal scorer, number 24, Jabral Tucker. And the Eagles apply a little bit more pressure after having gone down 1-0. Drew Jabral Tucker. Jonathan Bean is still warming up, signaling all indications that a sub should be made inside of the first half. And Coach Thompson stands to the edge of his technical box, looking to get the Eagles back into the match before the half ends. And Dredd to Russell. Russell maintains possession, tries to turn. Referee has play on. Sean Simmons to Bazin. The ball's hit a little bit too far, and it's Fabler being challenged by Bazin. Bazin drills himself at the ball, and it's Andrade. Andrade is fouled. Looked like he was fouled by Sean Simmons. Thus far, we've had about 10 free kicks, which is normal in the derby. Ball goes out. It's Russell in the box. Held off by Burgess. The referee signals a goal kick. Good marking by Burgess, but the Trojans will have to be aware as Russell is a poacher. similar to a style of Basin with a little bit more technical ability, but they both make sure that the ball goes out or they put an effort in until the referee blows. Davis tries to clear, but sends a poor pass backwards, which Sean Simmons will take as a Drovian. Sean Simmons drills the ball. Basin hills on, drills his body at it again, goes through the legs of the referee will give a card to Basin for swinging his foot at the Eagles player who lays on the ground. So with 19 minutes left, the Trojans received their first card of the match, with the hard tackling Dwight Basin receiving a yellow card. He's received many cards over his veteran years of footballing, so he will not be too bothered by receiving another card today. At the moment, we see another Eagles player coming off the line, off the bench to warm up. It's Jermaine Davis, number 5, who hasn't played a match this season, but looks like he will be coming in to deputize in the back line if needed. But it seems that the Eagles player, I believe it was Troy Tucker, has recovered himself. And Marcel Dew kicks with 19 minutes left in the first half. Trojans leading 1-0 due to Jabal Tucker. BermudaSportsNetwork.com bringing to you the match today. It's Russell shoots. Good technique by Russell, but Jumbo shows his safe hands. Gets down. Good technique. Collects. Gives no rebound or second opportunities to the Eagles. Long ball. Simmons working hard. Jelani Butterfield. To Basin. Dwight Basin. Basin followed by Tyrone Fabler. Earns a corner. Calls by the Trojan diehards players for a free kick, but referee Martin waits for a corner kick. This is turning into a beautiful derby match with the Trojans leading 1-0. It's too early to call, but I think there will not be too many goals this match. It's Taj Wade taking a corner from the far side. Floats the ball in. Fabler clears. Good corner by Wade, but none of his players were there to react. It's Kofi Robertson to Davis. Sean Simmons. Davis clears. Iris floats the ball back in. Davis heads wide to Rocker. Davis, an experienced player. Raheem the Shields, acres of space on the left side. Looks up. Decides to take on Burgess. Puts the ball into Tucker. Tucker's first. Out wide. Should be a goal. Good block by the number 4. It's Adolphus Lambert. Turns his man inside out but loses possession. And Rumbe collects. 2 good opportunities for the Eagles. With the last opportunity, Lambert did not make up his mind too early. And it's Sean Simmons putting in a lot of work. Sean Simmons, a very good player. Used to be at the youth level for PHC and Bermuda. Having been absent of the game for a few years, has now returned to lend his experience back into the Somerset Trojans team. Plays the ball in to Sakai Iris. Iris controls. Maintains possession into Burgess, who has to clear his lines. It's Batter and Wade, 2 of the youngsters. Batter plays back to Rocker. Rocker sends the ball over the top to Russell. Russell and Shakur. Russell hills onto the ball. It's Russell and Iris. Russell plays into the Shields. The Shields, beautiful behind the pull back into Iris. Good intention. Rocker steps up, sprays the ball out wide to Andrade. Andrade having time on the ball. Back into his skipper one time. Sean Simmons. The experience of Sean Simmons is controlling the midfield. Butterfield looking to play in Basin. Basin calls for the ball to his feet. It's Batter. Turns away from Wade. Beautiful. It's the youngster, Troy Tucker. Spreads the ball out wide. Andrade into Lambert. Lambert unable to stay on his feet. And the ball goes out for a goal kick. This is BermudaSportsNetwork.com bringing to you the 4th round of the BFA Premier Division League match of the day It's the Somerset Trojans versus the Somerset Eagles here at Somerset, Silver City, back into the Premier Division after a 3-year absence. And they are currently leading their crosstown rivals, the Somerset Eagles 1-0 drew a goal by Jelani Butterfield. And it's Sakai Iris, number 2, collect. Having a good match thus far. I said it incorrectly. The goal was scored by Jabril Tucker, the number 24. And with 14 minutes of play left, it's the Trojans still leading 1-0. Iris tries to draw to it, but Batter brings it down beautifully on his chest, showing the technical ability of the Eagles players. Iris plays in Cofield. Basin holds the ball up. Punches out wide to Wade. Wade tries to push it through the legs of Rocker, but Rocker stands firm. It's another corner to the Trojans. And Wade has been deputized to take the Trojans from both sides of the field. Iris calls for it early. Wade plays into Iris. Followed by Smith. Smith does beautiful. Good block by Smith. Wade tried to react early but did not see Iris calling for the ball, so the Trojans have a draw in. It's Basin. Machette flags. Seems as if Basin held off his man using his hands, extending it too far. The Shields to Batter. Referee has play on. Ball deep into the box. Basin unable to get there first. Smith. Smith tries to send Russell on his way, but sends the ball out wide. The Eagles haven't come into full stream thus far in the match and have 13 minutes before halftime to try to equalize. Smith heads the ball out. And Iris haven't seen a lot of the ball in the first half, with most of the build-up down this right side. Butterfield comes. And it's Wade. Batter clears. Tucker. Always calm on the ball. Composed the Riquelme of the Eagles. Batter. Tucker. Russell. Russell isolates Burgess. 1-on-1. Sidesteps him, gets back. Should be a cross. No one there from the Eagles. And it's Russell getting the batter off Burgess on the near side here. But no one from the Eagles trailing into the box. Russell calling for his players to advance. Skipper Davis heads back to batter. Butterfield. Basin calls for the ball. Machette blurs for offside. And it'll be a free kick to the Eagles. We have Coach Iris here on the near side indicating there was a good intention from Butterfield, but he should have played the ball or reached the ball at least 2 seconds earlier. Basin wouldn't have a clear run on goal and that would have been called offside. Basin, a very intelligent player, likes to have the ball to his feet or play deep into the channel so he can use his body strength and pace. And Drade lets the ball go outside after having been caught off the ball by Lambert. And as I said earlier, the Eagles haven't come into the play as of yet. And it's 11 minutes left in the first half. And it's still the Trojans leading 1-0. To Jabal Tucker, number 24, the left back of the Trojans. The Trojans left back line is made up of Darren Minus. Forward, Jabal Tucker, number 24. Number 5, Desmond Burgess. And on the right back here, Sakai Iris. It's Davis. High kicking there by Lambert. Sign for batter. Releases Russell. Russell should cut right into the box. Foot race with Iris. Gets there first. Still. Corner kick. Good defending by Iris. Iris has shown good speed and recovery. intelligent play and not putting a tackle in unnecessarily, making the Eagles forward line earn every corner, is Tucker. John Bay, calm, collects. Looks like a good pickup for the Trojans from Boulevard this season. The keeper, Wade, to Butterfield, one time. Rocker comes to clear. Excellent play by Rocker. Rocker being one of the better players thus far in the opening 4 matches for the Eagles. Jalen Batter. Davis punches it back. It's Smith. Smith and Iris. Iris gets the batter. Good position of his body. The youngster, having earned the left back position from Adolphus Lambert after 2 matches. Basin. Still Basin. But it's Rocker having a man of the match performance thus far. It's a beautiful battle between Dwight Basin, the veteran, and Anthony Rocker, the youngster. And it looks like it'll be between the two of them to see if the Trojans will score again, as it's old Basin who's the main dread of the Trojans. Ray Drosian comes to the field. Sean Simmons having a clear header in the 6-yard box after the ball floated off the Eagles defender. Doesn't put any power to it, and the Eagles escape. It should have been 2-0 to the Eagles with 10 minutes left in the first half, but Sean Simons, with acres of space in the 6-yard box, nobody around him, places his head to the ball, but without power, didn't look too comfortable with it, and the Eagles escape from going another goal down. De Shields tries to cut inside, pushed off the ball by Robinson, and Wade holds off De Shields. And I said, with 8 minutes left to play, it's the Trojans leading 1-0 against the Eagles. Both coaches are given a lot of instructions, with assistant coach Iris doing the majority of the talking, and Dennis Brown sitting comfortably there. We see Kenny Thompson looking and thinking about what tactics he will have to tell his team going into the second half. At the moment they are behind 1-0, but the Eagles have shown they can at least score 2 goals in every match they play this season, and it's Wade. Wade against Batter. Batter watches the ball. Good movement by Batter. Shows good defending skill, always to watch the ball, not the man. Play on. And a drove into the Trojans. There's beautiful battles going here. We have the youngsters Wade and Batter on the right. We have Rocker versus Basin in the middle. And we have Russell against Burgess on the other side of the field. Clearance in 2. Jabril Tucker. He tries to play Simmons. Simmons gets there first. Simmons against Fabler. Fabler holds his man off. Goal kick awarded. This is what we want to see. Personal one-on-one battles in the derby. The Trojans versus the Eagles. With 7 minutes left to go. It's still the Trojans having the bragging rights thus far, leading the Eagles 1-0. One-time flick by Smith. Burgess sends a high ball into the air. Drovian to the Eagles. There's been a lot of challenges and tackles thus far, but it's been a clean match. Both players showing good sportsmanship, but working hard for the respective teams. And it's Batter. Draws into Smith. Smith plays in. Poor. Butterfield. Butterfield is pushed off the ball by Smith. And it's a free kick to the Trojans. Number 6, Schofield Robertson, center midfield for the Trojans, seen a lot of the ball. Hasn't been too influential yet, but he's picked up a lot of the loose balls. Hasn't allowed the Eagles midfield to start any counter-attacks. Burgess sends the ball deep to the penalty spot. It's Basin who's there to react. Looks like Basin would have gotten there before deal, but the ball eludes both of them. And again, the Eagles' back line is not too comfortable with the high balls being floated in by the Trojans. And that seems as a very opportunistic tactic by the Trojans to keep floating the high ball in. It's Robinson again, winning all the second balls, not allowing the Eagles players to get into the match. Batter. Batter to Smith. Desmond Burgess. Lambert. It's Smith in the box. Shoot to the far post. Ooh, just off target. Goes across the box. Aiming for the back post. All good intention. But having been pushed off the ball, trying to steady his shooting foot, shoots across for a goal kick. With 5 minutes left for play, this is BermudaSportsNetwork.com bringing to you the 4th round of the BFA Premier Division League. Here at the Somerset Trojans field, this is Somerset Trojans versus the Somerset Eagles. The Trojans having gone ahead in the 15th minute, Drew Jibral Tucker, number 24, the left back for the Trojans. And thus far, it's the Trojans having bragging rights of the West End Derby. That was Wade who brought the ball down. Iris looks for Simmons. Simmons heads to Basin. Basin redirects it, but Tucker has to clear his line. It's Robinson. Robinson heads back. The Shields. Robinson again. Robinson winning a lot of the ball, doing what is expected, not allowing the Eagles to build up the play. Burgess, cheeky. Plays in Simmons. Simmons tries to direct to Basin. Batter to the Shield. Good challenge by Robinson. The Eagles will have to find a way to do with Robinson. Would have to play somebody there who's going to build on the challenge and win the second ball. Tucker to Smith. Smith, firm challenge. Firm challenge from Smith by Robinson. It's all Robinson in the midfield for the Trojans, doing a one-man job, not allowing the Eagles to play. And Rocker. Over the top, we have Russell there. Should be a shot. Shot by the Shields. One-time volley. Ball came off his pads. Good intention. And again, the Eagles are being limited to shots outside the box on either far side of the post. The Trojans backline is not allowing him to build up any play, which is not causing any troubles to Jumbe and Girl, who's shown to be a very steady goalkeeper. And the Trojans are being allowed to challenge for any loose balls into the box of the Eagles' last dart. And I think Coach Thompson would have to change his tactics to try to get some grip on the midfield, which is being dominated by the Trojans, with Robinson winning the second ball, not being too influential in making the play, but doing his job by not allowing the Eagles to bring any counterattacks into play. And Batter turns his head and it's a drawing into the Trojans. It's approximately 3 minutes of play left in the first half, and the Trojans should be looking to go into their change rooms at halftime, taking a 1-0 lead. Robinson to Iris. Robinson looks for Simmons. Good ball to the far side. Deal races out. Good awareness of Deal to Andrade. Andrade having quite a match thus far on the far right side of the field. Smith. Smith looking to play in the speedy Lambert one time. Overhits his ball. That has been the play thus far of the Eagles. Good intentions and technique, but their final passing or positioning hasn't allowed them to creep into the match. But Russell, eager to get his team back into the match, notices that the Trojans are happy to go into the first half with a 1-0 lead, chases the ball down and tries to see if he can bring his team back into the match 1-0. Butterfield. Butterfield to Simmons, unable to put his foot to the ball. And with less than 2 minutes left in the half, it's the Trojans 1, Eagles 0. Skipper Davis, back to Andrade. Back to Davis. Davis comes forward, tries to find Russell, but it's Iris, gets his foot to it. Goal scorer, number 24, Tucker, sends the ball cross. That was Tucker who tried to send the ball across, but again, there's no real build-up play from the Eagles. And the Trojans are having a battle spell going forward. Jumbe looking to take one of the last few kicks in the first half. Sends the ball. Davis puts his head to it. Lambert. It's still Smith. Smith cuts in by Iris. Should be a corner. But Martin signals a goal kick. Iris is winning all of the battles down this right side here, having an excellent first half. And even with a tactical switch by Thompson between Lambert and Smith, it's still Iris who has won the battle of the two wide players. And as Jumbe prepares for the goal kick, it's the Trojans 1, the Eagles 0. And exactly on my watch, referee Martin calls 1-0 to the Trojans. The referee has been heavily involved in this match, having had to give out 2 yellow cards, 1 to either team, had to deal with variations of calls, and both supporters calling for penalties in each half. But at the moment it is the Trojans leading the Eagles 1-0, as the Trojans walk into the changing room looking very comfortable on the home ground. And it's the front two of Simmons and Basin having caused the Eagles backline many problems. And it's the Eagles forwards of Russell, Smith, and Lambert having not caused too many problems to the Trojans backline. And we'll be back to you in the second half as the Trojans lead the Eagles 1-0. It's the BermudaSportsNetwork.com bringing to you the BFA 4th Division 4th round match of the day here at the Trojans Field, Silver City. This is Cal Blankadel with commentary, and we'll be back as the second half begins.